Video opens with epic, sweeping shots of various stone keeps, like the Tower of London, Rochester Castle, and Dover Castle. Have you ever wondered what it was really like to live inside a medieval castle? Forget the fairy tale towers for a moment. Let's talk about the real heart of the fortress, its ultimate status symbol, and its last line of defense, the stone keep. From the 11th century onwards, these massive structures began to dominate the European landscape, replacing earlier wooden forts. They were a clear, unmistakable message to everyone, from invading armies to rebellious peasants. I am in charge, and you cannot touch me. These weren't just buildings, they were instruments of power, carved from stone. So, what made them so special? Let's start with the architecture. Look at this. The earliest Norman keeps were often square or rectangular, like the iconic White Tower at the Tower of London. They were built with incredibly thick walls, sometimes over 20 feet thick at the base. You could pound on these all day with a catapult and barely leave a scratch. And notice the entrance. It's never on the ground floor. You'd have to climb a wooden staircase, often exposed and easy to defend, just to get to the main door on the first floor. In a siege, the defenders could simply destroy the staircase, leaving the attackers stranded outside with no way in. It was a simple but brilliant defensive feature. Inside, the layout was all about security and social hierarchy. The ground floor was usually a storage area, dark and cool, perfect for food, water, and weapons. This was the lifeblood of the castle during a long siege. Above that, you'd find the Great Hall. This was the public face of the keep, where the lord would hold court, entertain guests, and conduct business. It was designed to impress, often with a high ceiling, large windows, though still small by modern standards, and a huge fireplace. The upper floors were the private domain of the lord and his family. These were the most secure rooms in the entire castle, offering the best living conditions and a commanding view of the surrounding countryside. From here, the lord could see any approaching threat miles away. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of defense. The genius of the keep wasn't just its thick walls. Look at these narrow slits in the stonework. These are arrow slits or loopholes. They allowed archers inside to shoot at attackers with near-total protection, while making it incredibly difficult for an enemy arrow to find its way in. And up top you have the battlements. Those iconic notched walls, called crenellations, provided cover for defenders while allowing them to fire arrows or drop things on the people below. And what were they dropping? Not just rocks and arrows. They'd unleash boiling water, hot sand which could get inside armor, or quicklime to blind the attackers. It was brutal and effective. As military technology evolved, so did the keep. By the 13th century, you started seeing round or polygonal keeps. Why the change? Well, a square keep has corners, and corners are a structural weak point. Attackers could concentrate their mining efforts or catapult fire on a corner to bring a whole section of the wall down. Round towers, however, had no corners. They deflected projectiles more effectively and gave defenders a 360-degree field of fire. Castles like Pembroke in Wales are a perfect example of this more advanced design. Life inside during a siege was anything but glamorous. It was cramped, smoky, and stressful. The entire castle population might cram into the keep for safety. Food and water were strictly rationed. The well, often located in the basement of the keep itself, was the most precious resource of all. If the well ran dry, or was poisoned, the castle was doomed. But despite the hardship, the keep was a symbol of resilience. It was the final sanctuary. Even if the outer walls were breached and the courtyard was overrun, the fight wasn't over. The attackers would then face their toughest challenge, taking the keep itself room by bloody room, floor by bloody floor, fighting their way up narrow, winding spiral staircases. These spiral staircases were another clever defensive feature. Most were built clockwise. Why? Because most soldiers were right. An attacker coming up the stairs would have their sword hand hampered by the central pillar, while the defender coming down would have free range of motion to swing their weapon. Every single detail was designed for defense. Ultimately, the age of the Great Stone Keep came to an end. The development of powerful gunpowder cannons in the 15th and 16th centuries rendered even the thickest stone walls vulnerable. Castles evolved into more comfortable residences or were abandoned altogether, becoming the romantic ruins we love to explore today. But their legacy is undeniable. These stone giants stand as a testament to the ingenuity, ambition, and brutal reality of the medieval world. They weren't just homes. They were fortresses, administrative centers, and symbols of power that shaped the course of history for centuries. The next time you see a castle, look for its keep. Now you'll know you're looking at the very soul of the fortress. Thanks so much for watching and joining me on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history. Let me know in the comments which castle you'd love to explore. See you next time.